Hey everyone, thanks for joining this video. In this video I'm going to show you a couple of ways on how I actually manage all of my leads that come in and also how I calculate my maximum allowable offer very quickly so that I kind of have a ballpark figure in my head as to what would be a good deal and what would be a bad deal. So if you've watched some of my recent videos, you know how this lead was generated, you know how obviously you can build your team, how you can consolidate all of your network of buyers, how you can send your mailing campaigns, and also how you can actually put your lead on an automated CRM system. So right now what I'm going to show you is the first thing I'm going to show you is managing that lead, right? So obviously we already have them on a drip campaign. Obviously we already have a follow-up date. But as that lead comes in, this next step section has some built-in automation as well. So as you go through the lead, you can say, let's say you called them back one time and you didn't get them, right? Went to their voicemail. So now what I'm going to do, instead of setting on follow-up date for tomorrow every single time, all I'm going to do is click need to call them back. So that's going to set a task for my leads manager to call them back. Let's say you call them back again tomorrow. Can't get them. Click call back one. Does the same thing. It's going to complete that previous task that you called back. It's going to now assign you a new task to call them back again tomorrow. So I have that capability, a few different times set up. I also have, let's say you did get a hold of them and you want to kind of do some research before calling them back. You can select that. This set an appointment, and we'll get to in another video on setting an appointment. But let's say you've done your research, you've pulled your comps, and now they're motivated enough and the numbers look good enough that you can get out there and check out the property. All you'll do is click that. This is just really reminders for yourself as to where in the deal are you. On top of that, this kick to realtor, this is actually something that's really cool. I've built in my team members app, I have a realtor assigned to a specific realtor, whoever you use. If you are the realtor, then you can probably just disregard this button. But what I do is if I find that this lead in particular wants closer to retail value, then I have an agreement with my realtor that I will give her those leads for herself, right? So she helps me with all the MLS info. She helps me getting CMAs and comps and really understanding the market around the property. And in return, I give her any lead that I get that isn't good for an investor. It's really more of a retail. So I click that button and then it will automatically send her a text and an email with all of the information about the property and also all the information about the seller so that she can just automatically reach out and offer to list it for them and get the ball rolling for her. This button also, you'll see in a later video, send to offers. This is actually how you generate an offer in the offers app automatically to send to this lead if you find that it's a good deal. But this next step section, guys, is really, there's some automation built in, really helps you navigate the deal. But where I find it extremely useful as well, other than some of those automated pieces, is here. So obviously I only have 2 leads showing just for the purposes of this demo. I hid all of my other leads going on, but you see I have 48 leads right now. Okay, so imagine there's 2, imagine 24 times this, right? So you got 48 going on. I use next step to filter, okay, so who do I need to be following up with? Who am I doing research on? Who am I doing what? So that helps me real quick see where are my leads in the deal funnel, or at least in this analysis funnel. And actually the leads will stay here as they progress through, so you'll be able to see which ones are closed, which ones are in offers, which ones are in deals. Just a really good way to quickly know where you're at in your business. And the next thing I want to show you, a little bit different, so it's just how do I calculate my maximum allowable offer. So if you saw before the video where I submitted this on my website and it automatically created this lead, you saw that the comps link was automatically generated. So if I click that, it's going to bring me to this website which shows me what are, so green is the subject property. What are some of the other properties selling for, right? So you can see the differences in the properties, plus 1 more bathroom, plus 633 more square feet, and it's sold for $242. You can really get a good idea for what's the market around it look like. Once you've done a little bit of an evaluation, also I recommend actually seeing the property first before doing this calculation and before making an offer, obviously. Let's say you went on an appointment, you came back, You saw that it needs new kitchen counters, it needs some new cabinets, and just some minor cosmetic updates, nothing too crazy. What you can do then, first, I recommend click this button, get Zillow comps. I'll show you, before I do it, I'll show you where it fills it in. So down here, and you're running your number spot, this is exactly where you're going to calculate your maximum allowable offer, right here. So you see this estimated ARV? That's going to come from this get Zillow comps. So click that. It's actually going to pull 3 comps for you on the property. It will store those 3 comps in the property comps app. You'll see here I have the 3 subject property comps on that property address, you see. And then also in that specific lead, going back to it, you'll see at the very bottom, it references the property comps. But on top of that, in your running the numbers section, this estimated ARV actually takes the average of those 3. It takes the average of the low end of those 3. So Zillow has their high-end ARV estimate, their low-end estimate, and this actually takes the average of the 3 low ends to be a little bit more conservative. But you can see it's not really matching at all. So this is why I say I recommend taking Zillow with a grain of salt. Obviously, this comps link is great because you can see actual properties sold, and you can see quickly 328 is probably not right. So what I recommend doing is going to see the property, taking a look at it, and getting your own ARV. And that's what you'll put here. So let's say you think, okay, it's worth 250K. Now that you've seen it, that would be your ARV. Let's say you want to make 10K on the deal. Put 10 grand in your wholesale fee. And then what ARV percent do you want? So this is automatically going to calculate for you. It's going to autofill for you guys to be 0.6. So 60% ARV is where you're going to start your calculation. You can choose whatever you want. Just fill it in. So, a lot of investors start, they say, calculate your maximum allowable offer at 70% ARV minus all your other stuff. Okay? So now let's, these numbers here, guys, are extremely accurate. These were taken from a builder in my market who has done well over 1,000 flips, I'd say. And he actually kept a lot of information, and he made a really nice graph as to the square footage of the home and what type of repairs it needed. And he made a really nice graph, and I took the average of those graphs and really got a pretty accurate ballpark on the cost per square foot for that type of rehab. So if it's a lipstick, just needs paint, flooring, landscaping, maybe some light fixtures, it's about $12 a square foot. And then, if it's a level 1, which is this, plus, it needs an HVAC, new HVAC, maybe some roof could use some TLC, needs counters and cabinets, but the electrical's fine, plumbing is all good, foundationally, bones are good. $20 a square foot. $30 is now you need some bigger kitchen updates and bathroom updates. Maybe you need to touch the electrical, the plumbing, maybe take down a wall to open up the floor plan. Some more bigger things, $30 a square foot. $50 a square foot is really when you start getting into some major repairs. Maybe the house is from the 50s. It needs all new electrical. It needs, to be totally opened up. The walls are old. The floors are bad. You need to do all kinds of new replumbing, structural issues, something in the crawl space, whatever it may be, bigger items. So let's say, like I said earlier, this was okay. Maybe it needed some kitchen counters, an HVAC, nothing too much, just some touching up, say $20 a square foot. So your ballpark can be 45K for rehab. Additional repairs is where I put things that are atypical to your evaluations. So let's say they have a dock for a boat and it needs repaired, or they have a pool that needs repaired, or they have a couple sheds, or whatever it may be, just things that aren't in your typical calculation. You can put that here. So let's say they have a dock. Let's say 5K to fix that up. Whatever it may be. Here's your realtor fee because you're always thinking about your back-end buyer. And you can put any kind of carry costs in that you think it's going to take for your flipper to hold it, right? So these are really just holding costs. So let's say it takes them 3 months to do that flip. Well, they're going to be paying utilities and taxes for 3 months and insurance. So you can put that in here if you want. So this initial cash offer is based on 60% ARV. So you can always come in here with this first number just to set expectations low with the seller to see how they take it. And then you can always come up, and this is what your maximum allowable offer would be, knowing 45K in repair, sorry, 50K in repair, some realtor fees on the side, and it includes your wholesale fee. And then also if you want to just note, for yourself, what kind of repairs do you need, it'll be there too. So that is how I quickly calculate what my maximum allowable offer is based on extremely accurate numbers from my market here in Charlotte. They're probably pretty close, good enough for you to use in your market as well. However, if they're not, we can work on changing them. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. Thanks.